Hello viewers, Tim Poole here, editor of Gambling Insider, and I'm with Alex Czajkowski, an old friend of the magazine, a regular contributor, an iGaming veteran, but someone who I've worked with for 5-6 years and I've never actually met until now. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tim. Thanks for coming out to Manila.
Yeah, it's been a really good show so far. We've learned a lot throughout the week, but for yourself, what's the latest? I know you've always got interesting thoughts about the industry, and you present them in our magazines. What have you kind of been doing and perhaps musing about?
Wow, where does it begin? I'm working on an article for you now, in fact, that's going to talk about some parallels in the iGaming industry to some other industries such as Hollywood. And there's some very, very interesting cultural phenomena that happen in that, and ways to avoid the problems that Hollywood's seeing, particularly in terms of the inundation of products. Because what we're seeing today, you see here at the show, there used to be 50,000 slot games, 2 years ago, 50,000 slot games in the world. Now there's 100,000. Now there are AI products coming out where anybody can build a game in 20 minutes. And this inundation of product, depending on how it's distributed, really has a negative impact on the industry and on players. I mean, everyone's looking for the golden hit, just like Hollywood, and they keep on bringing out the same old tropes, just like Hollywood. So I think it's interesting. I think there is hope for it, and AI-based slots generation of products can actually contribute to that in terms of what I think the ideal model will be for the future of slots, or slots production and slots distribution, because they're imminently tied together. But that's what I'm cooking on right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept because everything you said, I think, is pretty easy to agree with so far. But as always, the how and why you fix the problem is the big question mark.
That's exactly right. There's got to be you can just do stuff for the sake of doing it, right? And that's what a lot of people do. They try to come out with the next slot, hope it's going to be a big hit, or they come up with a new innovation in sports betting, and they hope it's going to be a big hit, and they're going to make a lot of money from it, and players will enjoy it in the game more. I think that's key to my career, actually, has been trying to provide a positive player experience. I think that's what we need to do. And there's lots of ways of doing that. And there's things that you have to do to provide a positive player experience in terms of having the right product, having the right processing, having the right people, increasingly getting the right personalization. So you're not talking to a football player about horse racing that he doesn't give a shit about, or vice versa, right? Because if you're talking to me about stupid stuff over and over again, you're not only is it a wasted opportunity, you're wasting my time, and I think less of you as an operator because of that. It's like, why are you sending me? Like here in Manila, I use a delivery system called Boozy, and they bring wine to my house, and it's great. And the only thing I ever buy for them is wine, ever. So I've been here for 2 years now, and all I've ever bought from them is wine. But every week I got an email that says, "Oh, have you tried this scotch? Oh, have you tried this white wine? Oh, have you tried this brandy? Oh, have you tried this other product?" I don't drink those things, guys. Why are you talking to me about it? I don't care. And I think their CRM is crap. But where was I going with that? It comes back to those 6 P's of marketing that we talked about before. The products, you have to have the right product, and you got to get into the personalization, and getting the right messaging. AI tools are emerging quite rapidly. There's a product called AMP that's not an industry-specific market that generates the right message at the right time for the right user. Fast Track, which is I did an article about them when they first came out. And they've got a new AI-based product that is doing the same kind of thing that AMP does, which is get the right message to the right player at the right time. And these are massive improvements that create that positive player experience that all operators should be seeking to achieve.
I'm glad you mentioned personalization, because I guess it's very much the direction we want to go in, away from that kind of inundation of content. It's the main theme of our next magazine as well. Maybe a word on. There's been a lot of talk. So when I first came to Gambling Insider and read your articles, a lot of people were talking about personalization is the next big thing. That's the next big trend. And several years later, it's still the next big trend. No one's really actually personalized things, to a true extent. Certainly, some things you mentioned, you kind of have fast track CRM personalization there, but an offering where, let's say, if I sign up to a sportsbook or go into an online casino, they know what I want, and it's there right there on the homepage. I mean, we're not there yet, are we?
No, we're not there yet. The advances that have happened over the last year with ChatGPT and the other LLMs are really enabling this large data or big data to be actioned, other than just from a back end, business analyst. Oh, look at this! You find out, months later or weeks later that you're seeing these trends in the data, which you can then capitalize on, and you try to. But closer to a real-time personalization, where when you first come to my site, I don't know anything about you, or do I? I know what ad you came from. I know what media you came from. So suddenly I do have some insight into what I should be showing you first. And AI can help manage that data theoretically more quickly and more efficiently than you can see through a more typical algorithmic methodology. So, but is anybody rolling that out? I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. And I'll help write about that.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, I can tell you're just buzzing with ideas, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty more in the magazine in the coming months. But a pleasure to meet you, and really enjoyed your time and the interview.
Thank you very much, and thanks for your support of publishing My Insane Thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.